one who was and who is to come. I speak to you these words. Amen. Amen. Please be seated. I'm always grateful for the Palm Sunday Passion because it always gives us the alternative. The way the lectionary is structured on Palm Sunday, we get the Passion Gospel of that year's course reading. This happens to be Matthew's year, year A. The course readings of the Gospel throughout the year will come from the first Gospel, Matthew. And so, in this particular year, on Palm Sunday, we get Matthew's Passion. In the other years, we will get the other two synoptics. And we always get John on Good Friday because it is from John that we derive our heavy lifting, the deep theology of resurrection and sacrifice upon which we stand and which we use to mark ourselves as Christian people. So I'm always glad for the alternative. I'm always glad for the counterpoint that comes on Palm Sunday, knowing that John's passion will come. And each passion has a slightly different take upon it. The first three, Matthew, Mark, and Luke, are synoptic, Greek, synope, same view. And they report many of the same details, but not all. And John, not being a synoptic gospel, has a completely different tone and tack in it. Among the particular reports that only Matthew gives us is how Judas deals with this in detail. All four Gospels say that Jesus is betrayed, and all four name Judas, the son of Simon Iscariot, as the betrayer. Matthew and Mark have Judas connect with a kiss in the garden as a sign by which the arresting party will take him. Luke has Jesus deflecting the kiss before it lands, and there's no kiss at all in John. And it is only Matthew who gives us the amount paid, 30 pieces of silver, and what happens, the suicide. Now, the Passion is just like anything else that is enormous. If you look at Veronese's The Wedding at Cana in the Louvre, it's 32 feet long and about 8 feet tall. You can't stand 6 feet away from a painting that big and see it. You can't look at the capsizing of a ship up close. On such large events, you have to stand back and see it all at once in order to see any of it at all. And once you have gathered what it is that's going on, once you understand what you've seen, then your heart will inevitably be drawn to a particular detail. Something that in the year in which you are reading it moves you, a place that you didn't even know your heart and soul needed to land in the story, but once you hear it, I need to talk about that this year. It seems to me that this year there is a particular opportunity by which we start Holy Week with Matthew's Passion, and we get to see two versions of treachery. We get to see Peter and we get to see Judas. I believe with all my heart that treachery, betrayal, may be the most reprehensible behavior that human beings can undertake. I have stood over a bunch of murder victims and I've locked up their murderers with the weapons still in their hands. And even when you see that, when you arrive at a crime scene, you're able to say, wow, that's pretty grim, and I am going to lock you up, tell me the story, and you hear what went on in the preceding 10 minutes, and you say, okay, this is really awful, and you are going to jail, but I kind of see how you got there. In betrayal, that is never a possibility. There are no mitigating circumstances. It is never a crime of omission. It is a crime of commission. You mean to do it. Betrayal, by definition, uses the goods of an established, trustworthy relationship in order to harm a member of that relationship. And in fact, in some cases, it leads to their death. It certainly does in this particular case. Betrayal Betrayal, using a good relationship to harm. It's about as low as a human being can get. It really is. If there were ever a place to put someone and throw the key away, I think it should be saved for someone who does this. And that's who we get with Judas. Now look what happens. Look at how this one account holds in tension several different ways to do betrayal. Peter is the good doobie. Peter is the often wrong but never in doubt garden variety human being in the room. He was the annoying kid who sat behind you in third grade and always put his hand up first to say, ooh, pick me. I know the answer. Whether he did or not, he had to hear his own voice. That's who Peter is. Well-meaning, foolish often. And he hears Jesus say, you all are all going to betray me. And he's saying, I'm not. No, sir, I'm not. Watch this. I'm on it. I'm with you, bro. And Jesus has to reel him in and love on him just a little bit and say, chum, you particularly, before the cock crows, will deny me 3 times. Now that must have been chastening in the least to Peter. And he thinks, okay, I hear you, but I'm going to be better than that. And we know how the story ends. He denies him 3 times. And what happens immediately? The idiot rooster in town goes off. And there's Peter, and he remembers. And what does Peter do? He takes himself away from the place and he weeps bitterly. Hold that for a moment and place it in tension at the other end of the possibilities, the betrayal of Judas. Judas approaches the high priest and says, what do you give me? This is so intentional. This is so meant. There's no oops here. 30 pieces of silver, a scriptural number paid for the life of a slave. And Judas goes on about his business, and it is not until Jesus is condemned that suddenly, for some reason or other, he comes to himself long enough to say, this could have been a bad idea. Now here, just in the same way that the first 2 humans had a split-second opportunity and a choice in Genesis, so Judas has a split-second choice and an opportunity in Matthew's passion. And just as that first pair of human beings blow it in Genesis, Judas really blows it in this Passion Gospel. What does he do? He runs to the people who paid him to apologize and wants to give the money back. They couldn't possibly care less. They will take the money as soon as he drops it on the floor, and he runs out and he tops himself. He takes the coward's way out. He kills himself. Do you see what's going on here? I promise you on the eyes of my grandchildren that if Judas, the son of Simon Iscariot, in that moment had looked at Jesus of Nazareth and said, sir, I have really done you wrong. I am so sorry. He would have been forgiven. He had an opportunity